Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the West Chamber pop-up. This is Christy Villanueva, president of the Chamber, and we are here at the Commonwealth Commissary on Evergreen, and I am holding, my breakfast, the oatmeal and fruit, and Genesis is holding the pan de muerto that they still have available here, and it's wonderful. So we're about to get into that really quick. So thank you for joining us again on this amazing Monday motivation, right? And joining me this morning is Genesis Eakes of Genesis Eakes International. So don't forget, the reason that we're here is to help work with you as a member, as a friend of the Chamber. We want to make sure that we're able to build you personally and on the business side and develop your overall business skills as you move forward into entrepreneurship, or maybe it's an established business that you are running. So we want to help you as the West San Antonio Chamber. So allow us to do that as we move forward. So thank you, Genesis, for joining us. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. I love doing these things to be able to give back to the community and just to help develop people at large.
So thank you. So you and I have been in several conversations related to staff development and having owners or business owners develop their staff. And it's such a challenge every time. And I think that we all kind of experience something a little bit different. Sometimes business owners may express the feelings that, well, I don't really want to invest that money in the staff because maybe they're not as motivated, or they sit there at their desk and play with their phone, and I see them on Facebook, and we understand that. And sometimes it's a generational thing, but I know with the classes that you have helped us with and with some of our other instructors, it's really about investing in the person.
Yes, so one of the things that's kind of a misnomer, or really a lie that we kind of believe as business leaders, business owners, and even kind of sometimes parents, let's be honest, is that when we're seeing disengagement coming back at us, like, well, they don't care, look at how they're behaving, this is kind of what I'm experiencing on the other side of them.
Yes, yeah.
And we make all kinds of judgment calls about what they care about, what they might be thinking, and this is the stuff that we do kind of on a subconscious level that really drives our ability to invest in them.
Absolutely.
And giving them actually a voice and a place at the table to continue to grow and develop. And literally we can put limits on people and say, no, you can go this far and no farther because this is what I saw one day.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you say that, the place at the table, because we hear that from our teenagers. I hear that from my 15-year-old. I just want a place at the table to express my opinion. And we've heard that from middle management, from upper management. I just want the business owner or for my boss to hear my voice and really understand, active listening, really understand what it is that I'm trying to express. So that's such a challenge.
It is a challenge because what we as leaders experience on the other side looks like, sounds like that they don't want to contribute, or that they're just trying to be contrary just to be contrary or something like that. But when we can actually remove our own bias from the situation and see them for who they are and realize it's kind of a mindset shift, really, Christy.
Absolutely.
We have to actually realize that the only guarantee that we have that tomorrow is going to be better than today is our ability to grow.
Absolutely.
I'm not the same person I was at 18, thank you. My family and everybody around me is so grateful for that. But just like I'm not the same person, and I'm sure you're not the same person as you were, because you continue to grow and develop yourself. And people gave you opportunities to do that. People have invested in you, and you've in turn invested in other people in that same way. From your children to employees that you have worked with and come alongside over the years, and the way that you actually develop our community as the president of the West San Antonio Chamber.
Absolutely.
That same space. So you've shifted this mentality in your own life, going, wow, people really are the key, because people are what drive results.
Absolutely.
And so our ability to shift our mindset and go, okay, instead of seeing where people are limited, seeing what's possible and giving them and investing in that part and helping to figure out what's the barrier that's keeping them stuck and keeping them from growing, and just invest in that space.
Most definitely. And I know we can see that. Now, I'm sure there's some viewers who are probably saying, well, that doesn't really apply in my industry. It doesn't apply in construction, or it doesn't apply in manufacturing. And I really have to say, that's a fallacy. It does. It absolutely applies in those areas, in retail, because I think, that's a personal opinion, I think some of them are more neglected.
Yes.
You don't normally send your retail person to a self-development course. You don't send your plumber or your electrical apprentice to a self-development course.
Right.
But when you care about them and dedicate that time to say, go ahead and take 2 hours off and go to that class. And then you realize that at the West Chamber, we're embracing everyone, no matter who you are or what you look like or what's going on in your life. And then we hear the message from you that it is important to hear your voice. And like you said, years ago, I didn't feel that I had that voice, but I figured out how to develop it and what people were going to help me and listen to that. So I think, tell us a little bit about some of the courses that you teach, because I think the interest there, it's really a safe space, and it's a nice place to present those ideas, no matter where you come from or what the background is of the person attending.
Absolutely. And I love that you brought up people in manufacturing and construction and maybe even like the retail space, because I think those are the people, especially the people that are frontline, and we might call them entry level, possibly something along those lines. Those are the people that interact with the customers more than anyone else.
Yes.
They're those frontline people. We're sitting here at this great coffee shop at Commonwealth Coffee, and I can see some of the people that took our coffee orders earlier today. And they're that frontline that interact with the customer on a daily basis. If those people don't get it right, your business is not going to go anywhere.
Right.
So thinking about driving results of your business, that ability to invest in those people and helping them see value in themselves, because you can't give value to someone else if you don't see value in yourself.
Yes.
Oftentimes what happens is that we're just like this mere reflection of what we see of ourselves, which is kind of sad. So if you're looking to grow that construction business, you're looking to grow your industry in manufacturing, or you have a retail space, investing money and time and energy into allowing those people to grow and develop can literally change the direction and the trajectory of your company. I think back to my own experience. I'll tell you a quick story here. So I started out, talk about my 18, 19-year-old self. I was actually a checker at a grocery store working my way through college, and I had a really amazing supervisor at that time. He was the front-end manager of this little family-owned grocery store, kind of like an H-E-B style grocery store. And he saw something in me and said, hey, we need some help to onboard a bunch of new employees. We're kind of growing right now. And he's like, would you like to help develop this with us?
Oh, wonderful.
And so I didn't necessarily have training in that area. I was 19 years old. I was working my way through college. But that supervisor didn't see the limitations of what I wasn't. He saw capabilities of what I could be.
Yes.
And what he saw in me changed the course of my life and made it possible for me to be sitting here today, a business owner in my own right, developing other people, doing that same thing. And even though, it's a lot of years ago now, but I got to help grow that business and make their employee on.
Absolutely.
They were able to hold on to employees at that early stages of employee onboarding in an industry that has a lot of turnover.
Oh, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
And it was an investment that they knew that they took a chance and was like, okay, can we invest in this 19-year-old girl?
Right.
Can we invest in
her? And it worked out.
And it worked out for them and for me.
Absolutely. Well, and there was something that some information you gave me earlier, and then I believe we talked about it last week. The level, level of disengagement amongst employees, and because we're in San Antonio or just South Texas in general, I do have to bring up sometimes along with disengagement, employees are feeling unappreciated. So they draw back, they draw within. They only do the minimal amount of work, and many times they're going home angry. They're angry at the world, they're angry at the boss. They may not be polite to their coworkers because there is just this sort of resentment. And I remember as being that 18, 19, 20-year-old thinking, well, they don't appreciate me. I can do so much. Not realizing that if I could have refined my skills then a little bit more, if I knew you back then, you know, that would have really opened the door sooner for me. But it's not too late for anyone. So tell us about the disengagement piece, please.
So the most recent studies have come out and shown that 85% of employees across the board, across industries, across all the United States, 85% of employees are actually disengaged right now.
It's unbelievable.
That means only 15% of employees wake up excited to go to work, excited about what opportunities lay ahead, excited about their ability to create and produce and drive results. 15% of people. That's pretty staggering in my opinion.
And as business owners, that's cutting in to your profit and your growth every single day.
Every single day, exactly. And so the hard part in this is that it's kind of a dual responsibility piece. So I love what you said before where you're like, hey, I don't have a voice in like some of the things that you felt early on in your career. And I think that's common for a lot of people to feel that and be like, they don't appreciate me, I'm not feeling valued, those sorts of things. And the hard part is that typically comes because we as individuals will offload the responsibility of our own personal growth to an educational entity, a corporation, a business, or just someone besides us, right? And what happens is that someone else or some other organization will be more than happy to take over the trajectory of your life and say, Christy, we got all kinds of plans for you. Go here, here, and here. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to match the trajectory that you have, your own personal goals, your own personal things that you want to do, and your own personal purpose and destiny for your life. Because you're here for a reason to add value to all kinds of people in all kinds of ways, and we all are. So there's some amount of personal responsibility that we all have to take and make this shift and go, oh, it's not XYZ's responsibility to make sure I get where I want to go.
Yes.
So that means I've got to continue to grow. I have to personally invest in myself. I have to, there's lots of things, even like when you pay for your education, when you do all of those things. Education is a lifetime process. Unfortunately, there's no finish line.
No.
There's just lots of ways that you can do it. It doesn't have to be at a formal institution. It can be like taking the classes at the West San Antonio Chamber. It can be reading a book, going online. There's all kinds of ways that you can do that. So the other half of that, so there's personal responsibility, and then there's the other organizational professional responsibility where leaders of organization, leaders of people can really take on that mindset and go, guess what? I get to develop people.
Oh, yes.
I get to pour into them and help them find their purpose, their mission, their passion in life. And if I'm recruiting the right people, then the right people that are going to come in line with what the corporation's mission and values and that statement, they're going to come right in line, and you're going to be able to run and do those things together.
Yes.
And it's going to be fulfilling for everyone on your team as you continue to grow and develop in that lane. That's why there's all kinds of different businesses. That's why there's all kinds of organizations, because there's going to be a spot and a place for everyone to be able to be personally developed, as well as organizations to help develop and pull you into that space.
Absolutely. It's all of us taking that responsibility, and I'm hoping that everyone can really get engaged. We're going to have Genesis come and teach several courses actually in 2020. Hopefully we'll have that information very soon in December to you for the 2020. We want to make sure to keep everything low cost or no cost for you. That way you can come and join us and have that dialogue with us. Because I think the dialogue is most important. Is maybe there's not someone at the office or at home that you can have this dialogue with, but you can come and have it with us one-on-one or as a group, and then figure out where that path is. So thank you, Genesis, for being with us today and helping us with this. It's been wonderful to have you as always, and we hope that you'll join us next time for the West Chamber pop-up. We're going to have another fabulous guest in 2 weeks. Also, don't forget, we've got State of Port coming up this Friday. It's a luncheon featuring Jim Perschbach, the CEO of Port San Antonio. And then on November 29th, we're going to have a very special reception for the river lights and the parade that goes along the river. That's a very special opportunity for you to come and join us and the elected officials in our city to have a little conversation and enjoy the beginning of the holidays. The last thing is breakfast with the mayor. We are going to have breakfast with the mayor at the San Antonio Zoo. And thank you to the San Antonio Zoo for allowing us to be there on December 6th. So much, much more coming from the West San Antonio Chamber. Please don't forget, buy your tickets online or give us a call at the office at 210-229-1266. Make sure you stop by Commonwealth and enjoy their coffee. Thank you to the partners of Commonwealth, and thank you to True Matrix Contracting Services for sponsoring our breakfast this morning. Have a wonderful Monday. Make sure to make it a great week. Thank you.